Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am so happy that you stopped by because today we are going to talk about a haunted highway. Is it possible that highways can be haunted? I guess we're going to find out. This would be Route 66. Begins in Chicago, ends in California, goes through many states. There has been a particularly high volume of paranormal activity in some sections of this highway, notably Avila or Villa Ridge, Missouri. This is where Andrew Goff built the Diamonds truck stop and a place to stay. In 1927, thinking everything was going to be right. Well, it was for a while, and then in 1948 it burned to the ground. He rebuilt it. 1950. 1967, the interstate bypassed it. He decided to move it in 1972. Didn't work out. 1995, demolished it. In the meantime, employees had reported that there were apparitions. They could see ghosts. Coffee pots were thrown across the room by invisible forces. Employees reported strange noises coming out of nowhere. So this was quite the popular spot in its day. And as it also, there's sections of Oklahoma near Fort Reno where there were, in 1952, a horrific accident in which 3 died. Later that same year, a man was thrown from his truck and died. 1953, it had intense rain and 2 people died. And there's often this apparition of a man in a trench coat walking along the highway. And no matter how many cars they go, a couple miles down the road, they'll see him again. A couple miles down the road, they see him again. And there's been talk that some people have offered him a ride and he instantly disappears. Or one person let him in the car and they went just a little ways and he had a fit and they stopped and let him out. And a couple of miles down the road, there he was. So it has a very unusual paranormal activity in it. So we're going to ask the cards if it is possible that a highway can be haunted. And if so, why? So I want to tell you, first of all, you don't really want to use haunted tarot because most of the cards are haunted. And so you're going to get, a reading that's not accurate. And you certainly don't want to use spirit tarot because every single card is a ghost. These decks would not be accurate. However, these decks are important, and let me tell you why. The haunted house is going to give you some idea of the energy after we pull from one of my regular decks. And the same with the spirit tarot. It's going to give you more information. So the first thing we're going to do is say these decks are valuable, but it's how you use them. So we're going to push them up. We're going to get my serious deck that I use for serious talk. And I'm going to ask this deck, are sections of Highway 66 really haunted by paranormal activity? And I just kind of shuffle through the cards. And I just happen to choose one. And then I look at the card very carefully. And I do notice I link what I see in the card to the question that I asked. Is it haunted? We have some kind of animal spirit up here sending down the catechist, which could be a medical symbol, but it's sending it down to people, right? And it also could be people who something happens and they turn into spirits, right? With wings. Now they're angry, could be an angry lion with wings. They could be angry, and these people look like they could be literally walking on a road. This is where we go to the Haunted House Tarot. And we say, can you tell us about this spirit that seems to be in this section of road? What about it? And this is where it becomes important. So it's people who have died, right? They've passed away. They've left the physical plane. So these are actually human spirits, not like lion spirits or dog spirits or cat spirits. This is actually people that they're tangled up See the vine? They're earthbound. They're tangled up. They're stuck on the earth plane, all right? And so what can we do, or what else do we need to know about this? Oh my gosh. This is terrible. This is cemetery. It's like they don't know they're dead. They're in the Oh, this is interesting. So even though their bodies may be buried in a cemetery, they don't know they're dead. They're just kind of standing around. This is definitely earthbound. These are definitely earthbound spirits. They don't realize they're dead. She's carrying around this child and kind of looking confused. Maybe the two of them got in an accident and they're thinking, who are all these people? They don't even see that their bodies are in a cemetery and that they're dead. So is there anything that can be done to help these spirits, or is this okay for them to be haunting the road like that? Tell them that they're dead. Go to the light. I really am thankful for the Haunted House Tarot deck because it never leads me astray. There is a light and there is a rainbow bridge, and they need to realize that they're dead. They need to be told, you are dead. You're dead. Now, they might not believe you, but if we tell them they're dead, and some of them believe and some of them go to the light, they can be in a much better place, and they can feel better. Are any of these spirits along Route 66, are any of them dangerous? Are any of them actually dangerous? Could they cause like car accidents or anything like that? Oh, Jesus criminy. Some of them are not balanced, and maybe if a driver was distracted and thought they saw something and hit the brakes or something, but overall I don't get that. I think this is more of a distraction. It's more of a distraction than it is, actually dangerous. I don't view this as a dangerous card. And so this is fascinating. Is there anything else we need to know about this particular highway? Because lots of people die on highways. So I'm going to go back to my regular tarot. Are all highways that had somebody die on it haunted? Are all highways then, haunted? In some ways, yes. That's my yes card, Ace of Swords. You can have, the cards are kind of being like third grade-ish to me. They're like, Melanie, anytime that you have spirits who pass away and they stay earthbound, they can be on the earth, and they don't just stay in the place where they passed. Some of them can. They can travel. This is telling me, Melanie, they can travel. So they could travel anywhere. So a field could be haunted. A parking lot could be haunted. A parking garage could have spirits in it. Okay. But what makes Highway 66 stand out? Why does that make the news? Why Highway 66? This had a lot of fame. People loved the drive. They loved the sense of freedom. It was a well-known highway, therefore it was well-traveled. So it was one of the heavily traveled roads, and therefore you had a higher amount of accidents. See, it was the main roadway. That's a riverway, but it's signifying it was the main mode of transportation if you wanted to get across the country. And it had a patterness of accidents. Accidents. So it did have a history of having a pattern of accidents. And would it be beneficial to do some kind of a clearing, if that can be done, on that highway? Would it be beneficial to do some kind of a clearing, like a ghost clearing? How much sage would that take? This is like one small person taking on a big world. That would, can you imagine how big that sage stick would be? It'd take a semi-truck to haul it. So that's kind of, not realistic, really, not realistic in the Page of Swords. So what do we have to know about this highway, Route 66? Is there anything that's unique about it that we need to know? Just that a lot of people have blocked out the spirits so they don't see them. There's a lot of people that simply can't see the spirits. The spirits don't realize they're dead. They're blindfolded. They don't realize they're dead. And then I'm going to pull from the spirit deck and say, what is the average spirit that's earthbound? What do we have to know about them? The average earthbound spirit on that. This probably isn't a good idea, but this is the Two of Pentacles. Well, there's a whole bunch of them. Like the whole card, you couldn't have one more spirit in there. So there's literally over the years probably hundreds, if not thousands of spirits. Okay. All right. I understand that. And that was the Two of Pentacles. And this was the Two of Swords, not being willing to see things. So is paranormal, are paranormal activities, is that just a normal part of the earth experience when we come here? Is paranormal dead ghosts walking around, is that like a normal for the earth? Is that just a normal everyday thing? It has to do with loss. So the earthbound ones have a sense of loss, or they've been wounded, and they have a deep sense of loss, probably some fear in there too. Yeah, this is normal to the earth. Death, delay in going over to the light. See the yellow? There's a delay. They don't go to the light. They're just being dramatic and being dead. They're suffering a terrible loss. And what do we normally do about that? What do we normally do? Just say, hey, ghost, you're dead. Is that it? Oh, they're trapped. They feel trapped. And some of this is fear-based, because this is a fear-based belief with the horned goat man. And this is just kind of like you could pray for them or send energy. Prayer is just sending energy, because thoughts are things. So you could just send energy that the people who are earthbound that feel trapped, let them know they are passed away and they can go to the light. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Everybody has free will. You can't force them to. So this is very interesting, leading me into this question about, the earth having different dimensions of beings. So are there more than just dead people, spirits on our planet? Are there more than just the spirits of dead people walking around that we can't maybe see? Oh, there's all kinds of things that don't have faces. Like that doesn't even have a face, that thing. It's got like a human body and some kind of, so there's kind of weird, other weird things here. What a weird planet we live on. I guess that makes it exciting, right? All right. Naked women riding lions. Nice. I guess I just got done saying it's strange. And the cards are validating that. Yep, it's a little strange. Okay, well, so glad if there's naked women riding lions around that we don't have to see that every day, because then that'd be something else we'd have to wait in line at Walmart for, right? Can you please move your lion's butt out of the way, and maybe put some clothes on? So, I don't know where that came from. This is so fascinating to find out about these haunted highways, and these trapped, we can't get over the fact that these are trapped. Like they feel trapped. They feel like, that they don't even have any control over their death. So I guess what we can do is send them, when we know about it, we can send them energy. And that is fascinating. It doesn't sound like they are really dangerous. It doesn't sound like that. And so, if you want to get entertained or see if you can have a paranormal experience, you might just want to go down Route 66 near Missouri, near Villa Ridge, Missouri, or Fort Reno, Oklahoma. Kind of go in the evening hours and see what happens to you. Stay safe and subscribe to the channel.